Hello, Jase Perry here. One of my students just made over $100 in one day from her books on Amazon KDP. Now, what's crazy is she's a busy professional. She's got a full-time business. She's doing this on the side, yet she's making more money in a day than, let's be honest, most self-publishers make in a month, right? How is she doing this? I'm going to show you in this video. So if you're a busy professional, you've got a 9 to 5, and you've got an Amazon KDP account, I'm going to show you in this video the fundamentals you can use in order to be able to create books that could potentially make you hundreds in one day. So let's go. Right, this is Julie. Look, she made $100 in a day on like the 29th of June. Now, this is happening more and more with my students now. I'm starting to notice this. Genevieve did 200 in a day. Gary did 200 in a day. Raleigh did 130 in a day. So my students are making these epic days, and it's not by coincidence. Okay, there's too many of them. It's happening to too many of them now for it to be a coincidence. It's because of the strategies that I teach. And if you want the step-by-step to just get stuck in, I'll leave a link below. Okay, now the number one thing I teach my guys is to go for a niche with money. Now this could be the opposite. It's kind of like the opposite of what I've seen other people teach. Go where there's low competition. To me, that makes no sense. Where there's low competition, there's no money. All right? Where there's competition, there's money. Go where the money is, get better at extracting that money. I call it a gold mine niche. The reason I call it go after a gold mine niche is because if you imagine you're digging for gold in one place, okay, and there's nothing there, then you see a bunch of people setting up gold mines over there. You go over there, you've only got your little spade, start digging, you get a little bit of gold. You're like, okay, there's gold here. Now you got to get better at extracting more and more gold like all the other people are doing. Okay, but that's in your control. At least that's in your control. At least you know there's money there. So all the money, all the time you're putting into it, at least you know there's a chance that you can extract that gold, right? Whereas if you go somewhere where there may be gold there, and you're putting all that time and energy into it, especially if you're busy professional, you've got a full-time job, time is limited, you could potentially be wasting your time, okay? And remember, it takes about the same time to create a book. So you may as well create it where there's money. So we go after a gold mine niche, and there's 3 things you want to look for in order to determine if this niche is a gold mine, like what Julie's done and all my students do. And the first thing, I'll just zoom in here. Let's just call this circle here. The first thing is the BSR. If you don't know what BSR is, that's the bestsellers rank. You want to make sure that it's got a good bestsellers rank. I'll come back to that. The next thing is, blimey, what happened there? Is the price. And the last thing, I'm just getting tangled up here. There we go. I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3. How many? Okay, so we want to be in the sweet spot right in the middle here. This is where the gold is. Okay, the more focused these are based on these 3 validation points, the better these 3 validation points are, the more focused it is. It will make sense in a second. Let me just explain. So you think BSR, we want anything below 100k BSR. So BSR, bestsellers rank, every book's got one. You just look for a book that's selling. So I might skip a step here. When you're looking to find out what book to do, you just see what's selling on Amazon already, and then do something similar, something a bit better, something slightly different, because they're already selling. That's the gold mine's already there. You want to stay as close to the gold mine as possible. The more creative you are, the more you move away from the gold mine, okay? So you can do a little bit of creativity, but you want to stay like within that range because that's where the gold is, okay? So imagine you've seen these books selling. Make sure that they're below 100k BSR. Make sure that it's at least $12, and make sure that there is at least, one book, 1 plus, $12 plus, and 1 book selling. So at its bare minimum, if you find a book that's selling below 100k BSR and it's selling at say $12 and there's one of them selling, that's okay. Right, it's okay. I wouldn't consider that an amazing niche. Like, I wouldn't potentially go for it, but you could go for it, and there's a chance you can make sales. Because you can imagine there's only one book selling there. You make a book, you might be able to compete with that one book. Okay? What we want to do, though, and what my students do, is we want to get closer to the gold. Okay? So that means if you imagine 100k beer, 100k BSR, the closer it is to 0 BSR. So if something's selling at 1 BSR, it's the number one selling book on Amazon. It's making a shitload of sales. The closer you are to 0, the more sales it's making. From $12 plus, so the higher you can get. Okay, so 12. If you find books that are selling at $15, $16, then you're getting closer to that gold mine. And 1 plus, I'll say closer to 5 books selling. So a gold mine niche I would consider would be if you've got something selling, say around 2,000 BSR, and it's selling at $18, and there are 5 other books selling, say 5 other books selling below 100k BSR, that's a gold mine niche. Now, why is that a gold mine niche? Let's just summarize. Because now we found something that's selling below around 2,000 BSR, so it's selling a lot. Okay, there's one book selling a lot there. It's selling around $18, so that one book selling a lot, and it's making a lot of profit, selling at a high price. And there's 5 other of those mofos selling as well below 100k, so that niche is a lot of money there. Okay, that's where you want to go. All right. Okay, so once you've found this, okay, there's 2 other factors to take into consideration to decide whether you actually go into this and put the time and energy into making a book. And the first one, this one here, interest. Okay, are you actually interested in this niche? Because there's a lot of niches out there I could potentially go for that I'm not as interested in as others. Now, being interested in something, that's it's kind of like, it's subjective, right? It's down to you. But let me tell you something. When you're interested in something, it's a lot easier to work in. It gets you out of bed earlier. It keeps you up later. That excitement, that energy, don't discount that. Because sometimes that's all you need to get you from where you are to $1,000 a month. Okay, and the next thing, something to take into consideration, would be understand. Do you understand the niche? One of my students that, one of the first ones to hit $1,000 a month, she understood her niche very well. Her name's Debbie. Shout out to Debbie if you're watching this. Because she picked a niche that was basically like a family member. So it's almost like she's creating books for that family member. She could kind of picture it. So imagine you're creating books now for, I don't know, your husband or wife. All right, let's just say wife, for example. You're creating a mum book. Your wife's just had a baby. Okay, so you're creating mum books. All right, so it's almost like when you're creating that book, you're thinking, like, is this useful for her? Is this valuable for her? Even better, imagine you are the mum now and you've just given birth and you're doing this in your spare time. You're creating that book for you. Is it useful for you? Is it valuable for you? See, you will do things differently because you understand the customer. So that's something to consider when you're picking this niche. So to summarize now, if you're going to get a gold mine niche, something that's got potential of making you hundreds in a day, you want to have it as close to a book selling as close to 0 as possible. So 2,000 BSR, let's just say in that example, is selling for a good price, well above $12, above $12. Let's just say it's selling about $18. And there's at least 5 other books selling below 100k. So that shows that that book isn't just a coincidence. There is actually proof there that there's a lot making sales. And once you find this niche, then it's a case of just getting better at creating books and AI make that very easy now. Okay, hope that was helpful. Like I said, I've got a step-by-step guide showing you all the fundamentals about this and how to build the skill into creating books that actually sell. I'll leave a link below. Thanks for watching. Remember to give me a little like and subscribe. Helps my channel a lot. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.